Hello, Virgo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we will jump into in just a second, but I have the tarot deck that we'll be using already shuffled, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Virgo, in your recent past, you have opened up to change with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the universe is asking you, well, actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So what I'm saying is in your recent past, you were investing in not just one. This isn't just about one aspect of your life, but many situations that were not investing in you, because this is an energy of being in lack of reciprocation. So I feel like you were giving a lot of energy out to other people, to your job, to, other situations that just were not giving you anything in return. Now, sure, of course, we don't want to always invest in things, out of hopes that it's going to give back to us. That's not what I'm saying. But when we are in relationships with people for the long term, or we're investing in a career path or whatever the case might be, there should be times where you feel like you are getting something out of it too, instead of feeling like you are constantly draining your cup in order to be to invest in whatever it is that you're investing in. And so the universe is asking you to open up to changing the way that you do things here. Now, then in your current energy, you have reflect on your priorities with the World card. This message to me is not just talking about your priorities, but reflecting on your patterns. One thing that I do talk a lot about on this channel is how we have a tendency to, if we're not aware of it, to allow our subconscious to control our environment, to control our movements, our choices, our decisions, which then controls our reality. And when we do that, we might not be aware of how we keep ourselves stuck in patterns that don't really serve us, but feel familiar or predictable because we're so used to it. We're so used to that kind of experience. And so right now is an energy to really start to reflect on certain patterns that you have in relationships or in your financial situation or in your career path, and trying to get to the bottom of how these patterns, these cycles, have kept you from being able to live the life that you ultimately do desire. Now, in your immediate future, you have speak your world into being with the Devil in reverse. So it's interesting because these feel like two separate messages. So I'm curious to see how they tie together, because the Speak Your World into Being card is remembering that you have the ability with your voice to create the reality that you dream of. And the way that you talk about yourself and your reality matters, whether it's in your head, the way that you're talking to yourself, or the way that you're talking to other people outside of yourself. And it's really important that you start to get an understanding on how this has affected your reality. For instance, if you're walking around all the time saying, I'm broke, I don't have any money, I can't afford that, XYZ, then you're going to start to see that more and more in your reality. You are continuing to affirm that lack of finances that you are experiencing. And the more that you affirm it, the more you're going to create it. And the same thing goes with how you feel about yourself. If you're constantly talking down about yourself on how you look or how you feel or how intelligent you are, whatever the case is, you're going to experience situations that affirm whatever it is that you're saying. And then you have this Devil in reverse, which is working through, to me, it could be anything. I mean, it could be bad habits, it can be addiction, it can be attachment, it can literally be anything. So I don't know how exactly this ties together, and we'll see that when we hop into tarot. But I do feel like learning that first and foremost, you are capable of anything that you want. You are capable of having and experiencing anything that you desire. But it is important that you get to the root of trying to figure out if you're not living the life of your dreams, it's because a part of you doesn't think it's possible. And if you don't think it's possible, you're not going to act on it. If you don't act on it, you're never going to be able to create it. And so breaking that down step by step can really get you to wherever it is that you're wanting to go. But let's start, Virgo, by looking at your recent past. You have opened up to change with the Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is recent past for Virgo, please. Recent past for Virgo, please. Ooh. All right. Tower in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse. Ooh, okay, hang on. Actually, I want more on this tower. I was going to say something and then something else came to mind. I want to get clarity on this tower in reverse for Virgo's recent past. Because the tower in reverse, it can be like, usually to me, is like avoiding the inevitable. But that's not how I see it. Oh, okay. So it is still avoidance. It's avoiding taking action because you don't have any hope, because you have the Ace of Wands, so Tower in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, Hermit in reverse. You don't have any hope that anything better is going to come along or is possible for you. And so you've stayed stuck, because there's that same Six of Pentacles in reverse. You've stayed stuck in situations that don't reciprocate, because to you, that's as good as it gets. Because this Hermit in reverse can be an energy of going through the motion, almost like not, being present, not fully investing in your life, just kind of like withdrawing and getting through the day. And that's not how life has to be. And that's not how it has to continue to be, even if that's how it is that, how you've experienced it. But if you don't have hope that anything better is going to come along for you, then you're never going to be able to create it. Now, you probably don't have hope because you haven't experienced it yet, but we have to remember not to base our expectations off of our experience, because if we expect what we've always experienced, we're going to move in alignment with what we've always experienced, and we're going to always experience what we've always experienced. You're more in control of your reality than you think you are. All right, recent past for Virgo. Star in reverse, the Six of Swords. So that's exactly what it's talking about. Because there's the Ten of Wands in reverse. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. The Star in reverse is kind of this need to heal. If we don't heal our past, we will always see our current energy and our future, our current reality and our future, through the lens of the wounds that have been created in our past. And if we don't heal that, then we're going to continue to repeat experiences that poke at those wounds. Because the whole point of being here is for us to heal, to learn, to grow, and to move in alignment with our higher self, which is really what the purpose of these readings are. And I feel like that's why you have this open up to change card, is because if you have always done what you've always done, if you always speak the same about your reality, if you make the same movements, choices, and decisions, if you tend to pick out similar relationships with similar people, you will always experience the same outcomes. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing this. Sometimes we don't realize how much our patterns, our subconscious patterns, are really controlling our environment. They're something that I always talk about in my readings is how 95% of our movements, choices, and our decisions stem from our subconscious patterns, which means if we are not aware of our subconscious patterns, which are going to be a result of what we've experienced, the trauma we've experienced, the negativity, the lack, the survival mode that we've experienced, if we don't heal and bring into our awareness how those things have affected our patterns, then we will continue to allow those patterns to control our reality, and we will constantly be a product of what we have experienced instead of product of what we want to experience. And so learning how to heal the root of why things haven't turned out the way that you want them to is going to be the most important thing to get you where it is that you're trying to go. Recent past for Virgo. Yeah, because your soul's freaking tired. Your soul is tired of the same old, same old. It's tired of this lack of reciprocation. It's tired of not being in alignment with the abundance that you deserve. And you're tired. You're burnt out, Virgo. You're in a position where you have the ability now to make a change. But sometimes we don't realize that we need to make a change when we don't even realize that that there's something that we need to change, right? And that's why I feel like in your current energy, you have this reflect on your priorities with the world, really bringing into your awareness these cycles and these patterns that have impacted your life in ways that you might not be fully aware of in this moment. But the more that you can bring those into your awareness, the more you start to realize you have the control to change those. And then the more that you start to take control of your reality as a whole. Current energy for Virgo, clarifying, reflect on your priorities with a world card. Because the other card, now I remember, that came out with this open up to change card was step up and lead. And that step up and lead card that's in this Moonology manifestation deck to me has always been a card of taking charge of your own life, stepping up and being the leader that it is that you're looking for, being the hero that it is that you're in need of, if you will. Current energy for Virgo, clarifying, reflect on your priorities with the World card. Current energy for Virgo, please. Three of Swords, Two of Cups in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse. Virgo, and then there's the Six of Pentacles in reverse again. I feel as if you are pretty tired of having to start over. Pretty tired of getting the rug ripped out from underneath you and feeling like you have to rebuild again. Feeling like, you're tired of things coming crashing down. You're tired of the tower moments. You're tired of the heartbreak. You're tired of the pain, right? We talked about how tired you are. And there's a need, and I talked about this in your recent past, but it feels like it's very similar in your current energy because you have that reflect on your priorities with the World card. To bring to the surface, in some way, this is a tough truth, so bear with me, how you have played a role in your own suffering. That is the only way that we can heal and the only way that we will ever be able to create the life that we truly desire. And we take responsibility for how we have played a role in our own suffering. Now, that does not mean, we alleviate other people, relieve other people of the burden that they have to face eventually, their karma, their lesson, all of that. But what it does is it puts the power back into our own hands. And I feel like right now there's this need to look at how maybe if you've been in several relationships, what are the similarities? If you've been in several failed relationships, what are the similarities? If you've been in several situations financially where you feel like you're constantly building up to abundance, but then eventually you are back to a point of feeling like you don't have the abundance that you need. What is the pattern? Try to recognize the patterns that take place in your life, because when you can recognize the pattern, you can start to uncover the deeper meaning behind the pattern, and then you can start to reframe the pattern, and then you can create a new one. So this reading is a lot about self-awareness, and I'm not saying you aren't self-aware, but self-awareness is a lifelong skill that we will be working on for life. Like consistently being self-aware, trying to see things through the lens of understanding instead of projection, that all of that is going to be a lifelong thing. But I feel like right now, what this reading is really talking about is if you're tired of experiencing the same old same, if you're tired of the same relationships, of the same outcomes, of the same pain, what can you do about it? What is in your control that you have the ability to change in order to stop letting those situations happen the way that they do? Do you ignore red flags in relationships? Do you accept less than what you deserve until you can't take it anymore? Do you sacrifice your needs and your desires for people who do not do the same for you? You know, looking at your patterns can really open your eyes to how they've affected you in a lot of ways. Current energy for Virgo. Are you prioritizing other people? Are you prioritizing material wealth over emotional well-being? What are you prioritizing that isn't the best thing for you? And how is that associated with your patterns? Current energy for Virgo. Ooh, that's entirely too many cards. Current energy for Virgo. Reflect on your priorities with the world. Current energy for Virgo, please. I feel like, because you have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, King of Swords in reverse, and Two of Wands. I feel like you're in a place right now where you feel very kind of unstable, or maybe like a rebuilding period, like trying to put the pieces back together, trying to rebuild that foundation, trying to create whatever it is that you need to create in order to feel safe or secure or like you belong again. And I get that. I do. I really, really get that. A lot of times we have to look at the fact that sometimes things fall apart so that they can fall back together in ways that are so much better than we ever could have imagined. But sometimes we have to also uncover what led to things falling apart so that we can make different decisions for our future. Because I do feel like there is a lot of uncertainty that you're going through right now, like from within, like not just doubting yourself, but doubting your future, doubting what's possible, what you're capable of, doubting what it is that how supported you are by the universe, all of those things that can create this sense of uncertainty that I feel like are currently battling within. Because I feel like the Virgos in this reading really just need to hear that you're going to be okay. And not just that you're going to be okay, but if you're able to take the path of healing and understanding and growing, then you're going to be better than you were before. Because everything happens for us, not to us, in some capacity. And that might not be what you want to hear right now, but it is a truth that can kind of help you wade through those times when you are feeling hopeless, if you will. And maybe this is for some of you who have overcome that hopeless period and are in a rebuilding phase and just kind of need that confirmation that you're on the right track. Current energy for Virgo, please. Current energy for Virgo, please. Yeah, so I feel like you are feeling kind of hopeless right now. Eight of Cups in reverse with the Two of Swords. And I feel like with this Two of Swords, if you see, like, she's blindfolded. And then to me, it's like a crossroads, like a choice or a decision or not knowing what to do. It's almost like having to, like, just feeling like you're going through life with this blindfold on, not being able to see the ending, not being able to see if you're going to be okay, not being able to see how things are going to turn out. Because I do feel like you kind of got this rug ripped out from underneath you, and you're still in this period of trying to get the pieces, back into place for yourself. And I just feel like this reading needs to be a place of confirmation, Virgo, for you that everything is going to be okay. And I actually genuinely feel like I already said that things are going to be better than what you thought, as long as you take that path of healing and changing the patterns that have gotten you in this mess in the first place. Immediate future for Virgo, clarifying, speak your world into being with the Devil in reverse. Immediate future for Virgo, clarifying, speak your world into being with the Devil in reverse. Immediate future for Virgo. One more. This is immediate future for Virgo, please. Immediate future for Virgo. maybe. Immediate future for Virgo, please. Death. With the 10 of Wands in reverse. This is a good death. This is the ending of cycles, ending of patterns and behaviors that have held you back. And I feel like this death, it's like the death of the devil. And again, the devil can be attachments, addictions, patterns, bad behavior. Why do I keep saying bad behaviors? Bad habits. And I feel like that's ultimately what it is. It's like the ending of these patterns, the death of the devil, the ending of these patterns that have kept you from what it is that you want, that have kept you stuck in this energy of heartbreak and pain, you know, not choosing yourself and having to pay the price for it later on. Getting burnt out because you're investing in careers that just don't make you happy, that don't bring you fulfillment, that aren't aligned with your passions. Immediate future for Virgo. Knight of Cups in reverse. I want more on this. I feel like I need to clarify this, which will obviously clarify all of these in the extended, but clarifying the Knight of Cups in reverse for Virgo's immediate future. I said, I feel like I need to clarify it, and the same freaking Page of Swords comes up. Page of Swords in reverse, because the Page of Swords in reverse to me is like this energy of just not being like excited about your life, not being excited about your path, losing passion and like I mean it's not necessarily just hopelessness. It's like again, it's like that Hermit in reverse energy I saw, like the going through the motions, just kind of like waiting for the next opportunity when you feel okay again. And with the Knight of Cups in reverse, I feel like you're so used to that kind of energy. You're so used to just, you know, going through the motions, getting through the day, um, that it's almost unfathomable for you that there's anything out there that any kind of life is out there, opportunity is out there for you to experience better than that. And because of that belief that you do have, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you've kept yourself from being able to experience the life that is possible for you. When we see, what was this? I mentioned this in the Capricorn reading too, but I saw something on Facebook actually this last week that I took off that said, if you, I'm not going to quote it exactly with what it said, but it was like, if you believe it's possible, you'll see opportunities. If you don't believe it's possible, then you will see obstacles. And that's absolutely true. If you think that the life of your dreams is possible, you will see opportunities to make it happen. You will act on those opportunities. You will trust the universe's guidance towards those opportunities. If you don't believe it's possible, you will always see reasons as to why it won't be possible and the obstacles that are contributing to that belief. And this to me is talking a lot about needing to get out of your head about all of the reasons why you're not going to be okay, why you're not going to be loved again, why you're not going to have the life that you deserve, and start to reframe a lot of those beliefs with the truth that the universe is always leading me closer to what it is that I desire, as long as I open up to the lessons that have occurred to get me to where I am today. You know, believing in that and opening up to that can lead you to new heights that then can allow you to speak, you know, a whole new world into being. Because if you're constantly talking, and the Page of Swords is an energy of communication. If you're constantly speaking about your reality, I'm so alone, there's no one out there for me, I'm too old to find love, I'm too old to be successful, the best is behind me. Whatever it is that you speak out loud to other people, to yourself, in your head, those things are absolutely impacting your reality because those are affirmations of limiting beliefs that already exist within you, and the universe provides exactly as you affirm. So if you are affirming that you are broke, that you are alone, that you are unattractive, that you are unintelligent, that you are not good enough, that you are, whatever the case is, then you will continue to be just that. And that, the more that we start to realize that we have control over our reality, and sometimes the first step in that is just bringing it into your awareness. When I first, kind of started understanding this concept and implementing it into my life, when I first started like paying attention to the things I said out loud, I was consistently, in like every single minute almost, like affirming something negative about my life. And when you bring it into your awareness, you can start to see how your words and your beliefs are impacting the reality around you. And so your immediate future is about putting an end to old patterns by getting a hold of how it is that you believe about your reality and ultimately how you speak about it. Because how you speak about your reality affects you, specifically in this reading, a lot. And there's something that needs to be brought into your awareness about that. All right, immediate future for Virgo. Your perspective is everything. Your perspective is everything, Virgo. However you perceive your reality, whether it's from a place of lack and survival or from a place of abundance and unlimited support from the universe, you will be right. And it's hard because you perceive your reality in a certain way, because that, how you have experienced your reality has become your perception of it. That's why if you don't heal what you've been through, you will always see your life through the lens of that perspective, and your reality will always be affected by that perspective. This Hierophant here is a card of wisdom. It's a card of learning, of perspective, of like almost like a teacher. And I feel like there's this need to look at life more as a classroom than a punishment. And the more that you can do that, the more that you will start to watch the past kind of fade away, and the lessons that replace it move you forward in ways that you never thought was possible. So there's a lot more going on to your situation than I feel like you're currently able to see, Virgo. And I want you to know that whatever it is that you desire is absolutely possible. But you have to believe that. I can tell you that all day long. The universe can tell you that in signs all day long. But until you believe it's possible and start acting on those beliefs, it's never going to be a reality. All right, Virgo, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We talked about what you need to know right now. The extended will be what do you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So I'll be clarifying these messages, diving deeper into them, and providing advice based on my spiritual coaching experience. I did just I did just launch my website. And so if you're curious of taking a look at any of my services, I have a little snippet of my backstory on there. The information for that is in the description box below. It's spiritualcoachgabby.com. Otherwise, thank you so much, Virgo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Virgo, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Virgo.